All right, it's lunchtime with Lombardi, and I've got a 49ers update. Christian McCaffrey on track to return for the 49ers after the bye week, which is now happening. But I saw Christian yesterday leaving the 49ers locker room. He had a big grin on his face. He enjoyed what San Francisco did to turn things around against the Cowboys, and this is something I've been reporting for a while. The rehab has been going well, and the 49ers have been shooting for that return after the bye week. Things are proceeding along that schedule. And I think this is happening just as the 49ers offense is really starting to hit the stride that we were talking about heading into this game. I'm going to jaywalk here. We successfully did it. A lot going on this beautiful afternoon in the Mission. We're on our way to get a good sandwich. But the 49ers offensively, in the first half, they averaged 10.1 air yards per attempt. So Brock Purdy was still airing it out. They were attacking the intermediate and the deep portion of the field, just as they had been in the 7 weeks prior to this game. But in the second half, when they saw their true production on the scoreboard start to take hold, it went down from 10.1 air yards on average to 3.8 air yards on average. So the short, quick timing game came back, and this is before Christian McCaffrey's return. CMC is going to be good for the 49ers' short, quick timing game. I mean, that's his specialty in the pass game, right? And what that helps the 49ers do is it helps them beat this aggressive pressure up front. When teams are bringing extra guys, the 49ers get rid of the ball quickly. Brock Purdy's time to throw goes down, and the yards after the catch skyrockets. They had their most yards after the catch, about 150 yards yesterday, out of any game this season. So the yak, which had been way down for the 49ers, is now trending back up. In fact, they averaged over 7 yards after the catch per reception against the Cowboys, which would lead the NFL, just like they led the NFL over the whole season last year and years after that. They were last this season entering this game. The 2 games where the 49ers have averaged over 7 yards after the catch per reception have been their 2 best offensive games of the season. Against the Seahawks a couple weeks ago, and then against the Dallas Cowboys yesterday. So you can see how the return of McCaffrey is going to fit right into the mix of what the 49ers are doing. What Brock Purdy has done as far as throwing it deep, throwing to the intermediate part of the field with the greatest regularity of his career so far, 33% of the time entering that game, that's all great. That's expanded the ceiling of the 49ers offense. But the bread and butter, and this goes back to Bill Walsh and the timing of the West Coast offense, the bread and butter has to be that short game. And the 49ers have reintegrated that short game successfully. Yesterday it happened during the third quarter. Again, that's a staggering drop from 10.1 air yards to 3.8 air yards over the second half. It's now about melding the two together, melding that longer range attack with the shorter range attack so you have a fully efficient offense. And I think that we saw a good part of the blueprint from the 49ers against the Cowboys in that third quarter yesterday. Now, another key part of the dynamic is how will Christian McCaffrey positively impact the 49ers' run game? And this yesterday became so much more intriguing with how well Isaac Guerendo ran the football. The way that Guerendo burst through the seams there for the inside zone runs in the third quarter, and then he hit on the outside zone a little bit later. The outside zone helped seal the deal for the 49ers when he slid in at the end. The way that Guerendo ran, much more effective than Jordan Mason as far as just pure fit into the 49ers system. I think that Mason brings an excellent physical change of pace that's very valuable to the team. But Guerendo, that's like lightning to Jordan Mason's thunder. So then you consider McCaffrey being added to that mix. McCaffrey can ease his way back into things. They're not going to have to run him into the ground because they've got a guy that is a pure fit, kind of like a Raheem Mostert type in Isaac Guerendo, which I think is absolutely huge for the 49ers. The rushing efficiency has been okay on the aggregate for San Francisco, but there have been problems in the and one situations, and I think that reared its ugly head in the game yesterday. It's going to continue to haunt them until they feel fully confident they can get 1 yard or 2 yards when they need it. I went through the stuff rate numbers and the power success rate numbers. Those have both taken a big hit this year without Christian McCaffrey. Yesterday we saw them run a sneak from 2 yards out, which just gives you an idea of a lack of confidence in the standard run game. Then it was 3rd and 1 late. 49ers were trying to nurse the lead, and they decided to run a bootleg pass play instead that obviously didn't work out. And that told me that they're not fully confident in that short yardage running game yet. I think that's where Christian McCaffrey can help the most, because you talk about Guerendo being lightning and you talk about Jordan Mason being thunder. Christian McCaffrey brings a nice hybrid of both, which is why he's a future Hall of Fame running back, which is why he's somebody that can, I think, really be the glue, be the bridge that this team needs in the run game. So he's a bridge between Guerendo and Jordan Mason, but he's also obviously a bridge between the wideouts who are going to be deeper down the field and what the 49ers need in the short game. Christian McCaffrey really does it all, and the 49ers can't wait to have him back. So that was the big news yesterday for San Francisco. Christian McCaffrey leaving the locker room, grin on his face. We've reported it throughout, but it's getting closer and closer. The potential return of Christian McCaffrey to the 49ers lineup. They're going to have a bonus practice to start next week. Coming off of this bye, I would expect to see him out at that bonus practice, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, practice ahead of Tampa Bay before the 49ers fly to the East Coast. Remember, coming out the bye week last year, they just went and smoked Jacksonville. And I think that this might have similar vibes, the chance to play a Tampa Bay team down a couple important receivers for the 49ers, and they're going to have Christian McCaffrey, in all probability, available and ready to go. Anyway, I've made it to lunch. We called this Lunch with Lombardi. The place is called Rhea's. Look, they've got some of the sandwiches pictured on the wall. This is it, the Valencia Street. You got the turkey, of course some bacon, and of course the Dutch Crunch. There's a sandwich on the menu called the Buster Posey, so they've got a good Bay Area sports theme. I got to get a Niners themed sandwich on the menu here, but Reyes, Valencia, 19th, definitely a spot that you want to go.